Hello there. Different planet today, different enemy, different rules. The bug front, all chaos. Things are swarming you, overwhelming you, testing your reflexes. The Automaton front is different. Cold, calculated, mechanical. They don't really swarm you. They strategize. They shoot back. To beat them, you have to think differently. We're bringing maybe some similar stratagems that you find on the bug front, at least for me, being the anti-tank person that I am. But you have to think differently when you're fighting the bots. You have to meet precision with precision. And for a long time, I didn't want to. When this game first came out, I stayed on the bug front, where I knew the rules, where I knew what was coming, what felt safe. The bot front felt too big, too foreign, too far outside of what I understood. So I stayed where I was comfortable. I told myself that that was fine. I've done that before in real life. I'm sure we all have. There was a season in my life where I retreated completely. I was in middle school, and my mom, she went to jail for drug-related stuff. The one person who was supposed to be there, no matter what, was gone. Her addiction had taken her somewhere I couldn't follow. Much like, in Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. I know people have their misgivings on the prequels, but hey, Disney has proven that it could be worse. Now, there's a part in Episode 3 where Padme tells Anakin, "You're going down a path I can't follow. You're going down the path of the dark side," and that's kind of what I'm getting at. My mom went down a path that I couldn't go down. I couldn't follow her on, and I was left alone with all that shame and all that hurt that comes with it. My grades dropped, counselors called, friends reached out, and I didn't let any of that in. I built up walls. I stayed in my bubble. I decided that if I didn't let anything in, nothing could hurt me anymore. That's what fear does. It tells you that staying small is the same thing as feeling safe. For months, my mom tried to call from jail, and I didn't answer. Until one day, she kept calling and calling and calling. And out of sheer annoyance, honestly, I picked up the phone. And she said something. I don't remember a lot of the conversation, but I do remember one thing. And that was her saying, "I am right where I need to be, in jail." And she said, "I'm right where I need to be so that I can prove to you that I can be and will be better." And she was. I didn't believe it at the time, but something in my gut said that things are going to be different this time with her. She faced the thing that she had been running from her whole life. She walked into the unknown of a path she had never been down before. A path of rediscovery, resilience, a rejection of everything she had been taught about herself, that she wasn't enough. That was the bravest thing I think I've ever witnessed in my entire life, and it shaped me a lot into who I am today. And without knowing it, she showed me exactly what courage looks like. But it took me years to actually apply that lesson to myself. As I alluded to in my last video, I was in a relationship for 9 years that was really just avoiding myself. I knew deep down that the dynamic that we had was slowly killing the love that we had for each other. And the love we had was really strong. And the respect we had for each other was slowly dying. And the respect for myself that I had was slowly dying as well. But I ran from that truth, because facing it meant facing everything I have been too afraid to look at. Until one day, she left, and reality arrived. As the book series Dune would put it, fear is the mind killer. And for years, I have been letting it kill me slowly. So switching gears a little bit here, we're fighting bots. So for those of you, whoa, that was bizarre. Classic Helldivers. So I want to talk about Malevelon Creek. For those of you who haven't played Helldivers, know nothing about it. Malevelon Creek was called Space Nom, as the community called it. And it was basically a planet that was notorious for being an incredibly difficult fight. It was a jungle planet with crazy colors of purples and blues, and you couldn't see where the enemy was shooting from. People were saying that the trees were speaking binary, and it was a hell of a time. When Helldivers 2 first launched, most of us were bug divers. That's what the game was kind of advertised to be an homage to the ridiculousness of, you know, movies like Starship Troopers and stuff like that. And so the major part of the game is fighting bugs. And so when the game first launched, most of us were bug divers. I didn't even look at the bot front. And all of the major orders that have been coming down to the community have been bug order after bug order. And I think the community in the beginning, we felt unstoppable. And then there were the bot divers, holding the creek, losing ground, calling for reinforcements. And a lot of us scoffed at them. We were too busy killing bugs, too comfortable with what we knew. And then the first bot major order came. And every single one of us learned that same lesson at the same time, that we were not ready to fight the bots. Everything that we had learned about fighting the bugs did not work for fighting bots. So back then the game was different. The bots were more accurate. We had fewer tools of destruction. Nobody had the right stratagems. Using cluster munitions, they just kept walking afterwards. And that was a scary thing. I remember dropping into Creek with 4 of my friends that I've known since kindergarten. Brothers, really. And I watched all of them die, one by one, over and over. Reinforcement counter dropping. Last man standing. Taken out by something none of us ever even saw. Creek had a way of humbling you, whether you're ready or not. Just like life. My relationship ending was my Malevelon Creek, was my Space Nom. The thing I had become too comfortable to face arrived anyway. And I was completely unprepared for it. Even though I had even been told by my ex that something like that would probably happen in the future. Nothing really, there's no amount of warning that can really prepare you for that loss. I had none of the right tools, none of the right stratagems. Just the wreckage of 9 years and the silence of a person who had moved on before I even knew we were over. The hardest part wasn't the anger. If any of you have loved and lost, you might resonate with what I'm going to talk about. The hardest part wasn't the anger. The hardest part was that I still loved her. My brain was used to it. 9 years. I mean, I've been doing it for nearly a decade. To rewire that, watch this. Whoop! That's such a, 1 in a million shot. It's just so hard to hit the eyeball on those factory strikers. Normally it takes 2 with the recoilless for anyone who isn't super familiar with Helldivers. But, yeah. So, my brain was used to loving this person for nearly a decade, and I was just supposed to, what? Stop? The grind of that, the daily, painful, relentless grind of sitting with that feeling and not running from it was the hardest thing I think I have ever done in my life.
Calling down a sentry.
Sending down sentry.
There's another one. Now, I'm not going to take full credit that I shot it in the eye. I think the laser did some work on that one too, but you know. And props to the resupply guy here. Just thank you for taking care of your anti-tank guy. It's always nice to have the backpack topped off and another bot drop coming in. Just relentless, this mission. War Striker after War Striker, Hulk after Hulk, Factory Striker, Convoy with more Factory Strikers on the way, I'm sure. Another War Striker, sweep the leg there. Another Factory Striker, let's get him. Once again, I don't want to take full credit for trying to one-shot that thing. I think the autocannon put some rounds into it, but you know, I'm doing my best to fill in the role as anti-tank. It is hard to keep up with the amount of really all the War Strikers, all of the Hulks. So for those of you who are new to Helldivers, for these War Strikers here, it's really nice to have hard counter to it, of having a recoilless or a quasar cannon, and you want to hit them really anywhere in the leg will drop them. I usually aim for anywhere where the leg is about to connect to the main body. And these incinerator guys are just a crapshoot on if they're gonna one-shot you or if you're gonna take a hit. And just topping off, just amazing. Love good team play. This team was a pleasure to play with, and teams like this really make Helldivers really make the game really fun to play. But anyway, this is what hundreds of hours looks like, by the way. It's not luck, it's not guessing, it's reading the battlefield and knowing the weak points, trusting the shot. The instinct doesn't come for free. It costs time, it costs failure, a lot of deaths. It costs showing up when you'd rather not. Stratagem jammers, I've had some of the worst experiences dealing with stratagem jammers. Not being able to call in the tools that you need, and just to work with what you have. Sometimes you just don't have what you need. And here's a cheeky little shot. There's a War Striker in there, and we're gonna get dialed in. And let's thread the needle. Yep, that's another death. Nice. Yeah. And yeah, there's me trying my best to type while playing the game. Recoilless is definitely hungry today. Another one. So anyway, it costs time. The real life version of this looked like new mantras, new routines, new ways of finding happiness. But really, it was about finding happiness with myself for the first time. There's always going to be moments where everything comes at you at once. I think anyone who's listening to me yammer on now will, oh, the ricochet! That is, that's shameful. Yeah, we'll get that one. Gas grenade, buy some time so I can reload here. Hopefully get the stratagem jammer taken care of. There we go. See if I can redeem myself. Yeah, there we go. Where was I? Yeah. There's always gonna be moments where everything comes at you at once, you know? I think we can all resonate with that when it just feels like life is never gonna relent, and you're just sitting there going, all right, when is enough? And, you know, another bot drop coming in, and you're like, ah, geez, I've been fighting bot drops this whole way. It's been a constant slog moving forward. Inch by inch, we're gaining ground.
Deploying sentry.
And sometimes there are missions like that. And some missions are just a cakewalk. You just get to walk through. So, just like in this game, in this particular match, where it was just a slug and it was bot drop after bot drop. The same thing that was in life. Everything was coming at me all at once. I remember sitting alone in my condo, surrounded by 9 years of memories. And this condo was supposed to be the next 30 years of my life, of stability, of structure, of a culmination of hard work for the past 2 or 3 years of saving up money. And it was all gone 2 months later, 2 months into it. A lot of lessons learned there. But what was supposed to be the start of the rest of my life now felt like a mausoleum. Everything that once brought me peace was now a painful reminder of what I had lost. And knowing the hardest thing was the quiet nights soon after it all happened. It was
Reloading.
in that silence, in that mausoleum, knowing that the person I loved most was seeking the comfort in the arms of someone else while I was alone. That was the bot drop. The one that feels overwhelming. Everything at once, nowhere to run. The move wasn't to panic. That's the instinct, sure. The move was to breathe. Sit with the discomfort, acknowledge the feelings, and let them teach me something. Middle school again. I felt like retreating inward. I felt like pulling up that wall again. Let's see, do some turret math. Ah, just missed. Just by a hair. It's alright, we'll get it back. And look at the supply guy, coming in clutch, as always. MVP of this game.
I'll take it.
He's trying to hit him in the eye with the anti-material. I don't necessarily want to burn a rocket. Let's take some good old big iron, see if we can get a lucky shot here. I will get the other Hulk here though for him, because that one's going to be pretty weak. Don't necessarily want to burn a rocket on him. Yep, there he goes. See if I can redeem myself here. Get a little shot on a turret. That one probably shouldn't be too hard of a shot here. I can do those in my sleep. Boom. Well, I have to get rid of the screen shake. Alright.
Calling in reinforcements.
But yeah, I felt like I was back in middle school all over again. I just wanted to retreat back inward, pick up the walls, get into the bubble. I didn't want to get hurt again. You know, I think we all have. Oh, some more turret math here. Nice. A little bit of serotonin, always helpful. I think we all have a little kid inside of us, the innocence that sometimes we really have to protect, otherwise adulthood and life will sap it away from you. And that little kid inside of me got hurt pretty good. More than I've probably ever been hurt in my life. And that was my instinct, to protect myself, to turtle up, but decided not to. Let's take out that guy first, then we can get the little turret here. Alright, turret math.
Reload it.
Yep. You love it. You love it. But it was in that moment I thought back to my mom, of her making one of the hardest decisions I think we can do as humans and face the unknown, to face ourselves. And I think the lesson finally came full circle to me in that moment, that I needed to choose myself. I needed to forge my own path, to be the person that I wanted to be. Like I was hoping I could be with someone else. But here comes another factory striker. Let's see if we can get through this one. This will be a tough one. Just get just throw everything. Just throw the kitchen sink at it. And whoever brought the shield generator here on this mission, also excellent choice. Excellent choice. Able to just hunker down, get a second to breathe and collect our thoughts, let the 380 do its magic. I think that guy absolutely got obliterated by my 380. Whoops.
Requesting sentry.
So, I made that choice to choose myself, to choose my friends, to lean on my support system, and that was an incredibly hard thing to do, to override my instinct to turtle up. But I'm glad I had my mom and her past actions as an example of what to do in that really hard moment. Because as much as I loved that person for so long, with all of my being, I knew that I had to make a choice to love myself for once, to put myself first. For 9 years, I didn't put myself first, and I lost the respect of the person I cared about most, and I lost the respect of myself. And that was probably the more brutal thing to lose. So,
Calling down objective equipment.
I did the harder thing, and I asked for help. And as much as I have had to take the steps forward to move myself in the direction of recovery, of what recovery looks like to me, I did have to lean on my support system. In the hard moments, it does take a village, and it can feel so incredibly isolating when you're going through moments like this. Really hard, tough moments. You can feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Believe me, I know. If you're going through something like I have been through, something similar, a breakup, grieving a loss, whatever you might be going through, I want you to know that you're not alone. That even though you were watching this video posthumously, know that I'm here to hear you. I'm here to listen. And I hope the words that, or the ramblings of a madman, as I call myself, are able to help in some way, shape, or form, that you're not alone in all of this. You can ask for help. And I hope, ultimately, this video does help a little bit. There's a lot of chaos and randomness going on in this game, but this is more of just a backdrop. This is, video games are where I do my best thinking, to where I'm able to process difficult emotions sometimes, and really work through things. So whatever that looks like for you, I encourage you to do it if you're going through something hard. You might have an instinct to turtle up, and you might feel like you have an instinct to not ask for help, when you feel like there isn't anyone, but there is, even if it's a random stranger on the internet. There are people out there that would love to support you, because y'all are worth it. You are. You might not feel it, but you are. And here we are, surrounded by flame hulks, incinerator devastators, kind of everything at once. I'm kind of, poking the bear a little bit to take some pressure off of the teammates, because at the end of the day, I have a lot of experience fighting bots at this point. I know what they're going to be able to throw at me. I know what they're capable of. And here he is. I say that, getting surprised by a Hulk coming after me. Alright, this thing needs to drop like now. Alright, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Alright. Yeah. Sitting here trying to reload my recoillers, trying not to die. Okay, we got another shock off. Yeah, oh. So, here I am. Hulks everywhere, Incinerator Devastators everywhere. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it out of this one. It's not looking great. But we're gonna stay calm, we're gonna stay collected, we're gonna know how we need to move. And I brought the right tools of the trade. I brought fire protection armor. Because, you know, I would have been dead a long time ago if I wasn't wearing the flame resistant armor here. So here I am getting blasted, and I'm able to find some cover. And I know that there's a resupply up over this hill, so I can just burn through stims if I need to. I'm calling in support from Eagle 1. Love that lady. We're gonna get behind this rock, get the recoilless back up and running, so that I can get control of the situation. There we go. Now there's resupply over the hill there. We're gonna go over to that and collect our thoughts. And that's what it takes sometimes. You might have to face overwhelming odds. And sometimes it might be too overwhelming, but as long as you keep a level head and you lean back on the skills that you have and you trust yourself, you can get through it. You can get through anything. And you know, I made it out of that one. And I do have to say, I think the gas grenades that I threw helped a little bit. The one Achilles heel that I have in this game is I always forget that I have grenades that I can use. And I bring the gas grenades specifically to confuse the enemy and make them, you know, to buy me a little bit of breathing room so I can think. Some lessons, apparently, take a lot longer to learn than others. I was there for the defense of Popli 9, which was a very tough fight. The bots were pushing back to the creek and the space nom, and the community said no. We had to face the Jet Brigade and the Incineration Corps, both at the same time. Arguably, that was a harder fight than Creek. But because of Creek, because of every death, every reinforcement counter hitting 0, I was ready. And here's what no one is going to tell you about facing your fears. It doesn't feel like victory at first. It feels like grief. Because when you finally face the thing you've been running from, you also have to face everything you've lost while you were running. The time, the energy, the version of yourself that got left behind. I grieved all of that. And then I slowly started to rebuild.
Fire in the hole!
New mantras, new routines, therapy, the gym, my new Helldiver armor, and still, this game, one layer at a time. I learned to communicate my needs, to make my voice heard, to ask for help without feeling like a burden. I learned to forgive myself, and most importantly, I went full circle with the person who hurt me the most. Not for her, but for me. Because I couldn't let 9 years of memories become a curse. They were too many, too real, too much of who I am, who I've become, woven into them. So I did the work. I wiped the slate clean. No financial entanglements, no nothing. She may have had the strength to finally end it, but I had the strength to separate entirely. And that was my final act of love for both of us. The scars give me the strength to stand tall, like I never have before. 3 missions, same diver, still standing. We're on a 3-life streak on this diver. The bots are more afraid of me than I ever was of them now. That took work, time, commitment, and a lot of depths that I'm grateful for now. My mom taught me what courage looks like. She walked into the unknown and said, I'm right where I need to be. And now, So have I.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
So I want to say thank you if you stuck around this far. I appreciate you listening to the ramblings of a madman, and I hope this video helped. If you're going through a tough time, or even if you're not going through a tough time, I hope this was a reminder to be kind to yourself and to be kind to others. There's a lot of negativity out in the world. Bring some positivity to it. We all can.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
I'll see you in the next one, and if you're a Helldiver, I'll see you on the next dive.